Okay, so our first question is, what has college ball been like?
Well, so my freshman year was a COVID year. We only played like 6.5 games. I say half. I guess we really got through 9 innings, but the field didn't have lights, so we had to go back and pause the game, and we actually never got to finish that one. But yeah, it's been interesting. Last year was a little different as well. We didn't get to play our full 40 game schedule. And it was actually a fantastic season for my school, Johnson and Wales, up in Providence, Rhode Island. We won our first region. Well, I guess we won our first regional game after we won the first conference championship in school history in over 20 years. So it was quite a fun year. I was hurt actually my first at bat of the year. Tore my hamstring running down the first baseline. Felt it pop about 3 times, and it's not been the same ever since. But came back for regionals and ended up doing pretty well. Um, I don't know. I think I hit somewhere in the 412 range or something like that for the year. Not a whole lot of at bats, but yeah, you got to start great and stay great. So.
That's sweet. So the next question we have is tell us about the league you played in this summer.
So the league I was in was called the NYCBL. It's the New York Collegiate Baseball League. It's like partially funded by the MLB, and I played for the Cortland Crush. And same thing, my hamstring was acting up a little bit. I only got, I think, 24 at bats. Batted like 208, so obviously not as great. But my role was a little different. I did a lot more pinch hitting. So I'd only hit like once or twice a week, and you guys know for sure it's tough to get in a rhythm when you're not playing all the time. So pinch hitting is one of the hardest things to do in baseball. So I'll take 208, I guess. I hit 3 home runs and only 24 at bats, so my power was there, and if I have to trade that for a little bit of average, then that's fine by me. The league was great. It was pretty competitive. Our team was fantastic. I really got along with all the guys quite nicely, and we played incredibly well. We ended up winning the entire league, first championship in team history, and we swept the championship, and we went undefeated in the playoffs. So it was a great atmosphere and some great baseball that was being played.
That's awesome. So what would you say the best part of that experience was?
Man, I think just meeting all the guys. It's so cool to just meet other baseball players and see where they come from and what they want to do with their careers. And for a lot of us, there's a lot of D3 guys, but you mix in D2 and D1 and JUCO guys all together, and you got guys that are in different stages of their careers, older guys, younger guys. It was completely different than anything I expected. And we had a guy that was hoping to get signed. Well, I guess he did sign to a team in the Frontier League, which is actually professional baseball. And his team kind of dissolved because of the whole COVID situation, and there's less funding at the lower levels of professional baseball now. But it was really interesting to see him perform and what a professional team is kind of looking for. Because I got to play every day with him and talk with him, and he was a great player. His name was Buzz Shirley, so very impressive.
That's super cool. So what were some of the colleges your teammates played at?
Oh man, a lot of guys played up in the New York area. SUNY, which is like State University in New York, they played SUNY Brockport. I had a couple of guys at U Albany. We had a guy that's going to Western Carolina. Guy that's actually doing his grad work at Dayton, and some guys from Ithaca. So it was a huge mix. Bunch of guys from Pennsylvania as well that played in the D2 conference there. So it was just a huge mix of guys. And, most of our guys actually, there were 4 guys that came from Salve Regina, which is a school that's only about 40 minutes from my school, which is really cool. I'm definitely going to keep in touch with those guys.
That's sweet. Were there any major league scouts at the league usually?
Yeah, I think usually there are. It's tough with COVID, it's traveling and just all the restrictions and everything like that. But usually there's a pro day. It's like an all-star game. And we had one today, or I guess this year. It was we played 2 games in one day, and they basically just streamed it to PBR, took hitting metrics and pitching metrics and things like that. So they could see from a distance, but I don't think that really there was a whole lot of, pro scouting going on there.
So what is your college training workload like?
So being at a D3 school, it's a little bit harder. Athletics is definitely not at the forefront of what the university is looking for. So we don't get the same level of training that a D2 or a D1 school would get. Hard to get weight room time because we have to split it with, every other team that's there. And there are only 2 on campus, one that's athlete specific. So really all the teams share one weight room, which is a little bit frustrating, but, we make it work. It's different. We do a lot of baseball specific stuff. We deadlift, which is a great lift for any sport or anybody that's trying to get strong. But we usually do it with a hex bar instead of a straight bar. It's a little bit better on your back. And then we'll front squat instead of back squat. Again, you want to protect your back a little bit. And, you get up early in the morning sometimes and stay after practice late. But for the most part, you kind of have to lift on your own. There's not really a whole lot of team lifting going on, unfortunately.
So what got you into baseball?
Well, I've been playing baseball since I was like 3. So I don't even remember. I've always loved baseball. I've always loved throwing and hitting and stuff like that. My dad played baseball. My mom played softball. And it was just always, as a family, it was our favorite sport. So I didn't really have a choice, and that's fine because I love baseball.
What is your favorite part of baseball?
When I'm hitting well, hitting. But you guys know there's there's a lot of ups and downs. So when I'm in a slump, I don't think anything's great about baseball. But probably just hanging out with the guys. It's a really big, community, and just being able to meet people on other teams and, new guys that are coming into my school this year and last year, and just making new connections and friends and all that stuff. It's really great. On top of just being able to hit and throw and just have a good time going out and practicing.
Thank you so much for doing this interview with us.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime.
Yeah, thank you. That was sweet.
Thank you.
For sure.